Hi, Murray Birch here with Murray Birch Real Estate Photography. I'm going to do another quick tutorial on for a kitchen remodel. And this is my base layer that I'm going to use. You can see my flash stands here and the verticals are off. I intentionally raised the camera up a little bit and pointed it down so that you could get a view into the kitchen, and you could see some of the countertops in the back there and the nice stainless range and everything. So I got my flash layer there, and I took a frame with the lights on and then a frame with the lights off. So put the lights on top. I'm going to switch the blending mode of that to lighten. And then I'm just going to brush in just the lights. So I'm going to put a black layer mask. I can hold Alt down while I click the layer mask option. And then grab a brush. And I'll set it to about 30%. And I can just brush in there, turn the lights on. Just brush in wherever the lights are. And it's only going to paint in where it's lighter than the layer below. So I don't have to worry about going over the edges of the lights or anything like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. Just make sure I got it all painted in there. Okay, now we'll come down to the lights off layer. And we'll do the same thing, put a black layer mask on it. And we'll just paint in the areas. Like you can see here where the flash would be, you would think the light would be coming from this direction with the windows being over here and everything, so you wouldn't see this bright side of this island here. So I'll turn those back on, put a black layer mask, and I have a 4% brush, and I'm just going to paint in here. This is my ambient layer. Painting in a little bit of those shadows, and I'll paint out where, since this is the lights off layer, the warm light won't be reflecting off of that fridge, so I can just take that out with the lights off layer. And paint in a little bit up here, tame that ceiling down a little bit. A little bit on the cabinets. Okay, and then right here, got a little bit of a reflection from my flash over here, bouncing off this wall and ceiling joint. So I'll just make my brush real small and just paint that away. And I exposed for the windows with my flash layer. Intentionally left it a little bit bright out there. There's just a little bit of detail, but not so much that it's pulling your attention away from the focus of the photo, which should be the kitchen. So that's that. And let's go in here. See, sometimes we get a little bit of color shift on the ceiling, which we can fix with a color layer, but it's not looking too bad. I'll hit Command 0 to fit to the screen again. And that's looking pretty good. This is a pretty neutral kitchen. We'll just stamp it visible. Shift Option Command E for stamp visible. I have an action for it from Andrew Peche's One Light Photography tutorial. Came with a bunch of actions, and that was one of them. Stamp visible with the guides and the move tool. It's really helpful. So you can just set these over here to get your verticals straightened out. And I was down tilted on this one to do sort of like a fake tilt shift effect. A tilt shift, all these verticals would be vertical, but I don't have a tilt shift, so hit Command T, right click, and hit skew. And I can pull these corners out, and I'll line it up with the fridge there. That looks good. This side come out a little bit. Line that up with the door frame. And that's looking pretty good. Alright. Just hit enter to accept that transform. And I'm just going to grab, I can see there's a little bit of, well, quite a bit of green reflecting off of that. I'm just going to grab a hue saturation layer. Grab the greens. And only looking at that spot, I'm going to just desaturate until I can't see the green in that spot anymore. Now if I leave it like that, the whole outside is going to be not looking right. I'll hit Command I on the layer mask and get my brush tool, and I'll just paint that in right there. I'll go back to properties and just desaturate the whole thing. There we go. That looks better. There must have been some other color besides green in there, because the greens wasn't taking it out quite enough. Alright. And I'm going to crop in a little bit, but I want to leave this door frame here so you can see that that does lead to the outside. So I don't want to crop any on the right side of the frame here. I'm going to get a new layer, Shift Alt Command N makes a new layer, and I hit J for the clone, or for the spot healing brush tool, and I'll just hit that spot right there, take that light stand away, and that's looking pretty good. I'll hit the C for crop tool, and I'll just bring this in a little bit on the left hand side until I can't see that light stand. And right about there looks good. You can still see a little bit of that clock face. Just enough to know that there's a nice big clock up there. Hit return or enter to accept that. And that's the final photo. Pretty simple. Hit F for full screen. Command H to hide. And there it is. Finished product. That'll look great on any real estate listing or anything you want to use it for, a flyer or anything like that. Alright, this is Murray Birch Real Estate Photography. Thanks for watching.